Hello and welcome to this tutorial from Teach Me Tech. A lot of people are concerned when they're using Facebook about their privacy. They're worried about people seeing stuff that they didn't want them to see or getting spammed and that kind of stuff. So this tutorial is going to show you how to make some quick basic privacy settings so that you can make sure that you're sharing exactly what you want to with the people that you want to. So I've set up a dummy Facebook account here to protect my own privacy. So you'll see that I'm on the home page at the moment. There are a couple of menus that I want to talk you through. The first one is the privacy shortcuts menu. See if at the top right here there's a little padlock symbol, and if you click on that, this will take you to probably the most important privacy settings. The first one says who can see my stuff, and if you click the little down arrow at the side there, you'll see that there are a number of different options. The very top one is probably one of the most important things to consider when you're using Facebook, because this decides who can see your future posts. And you can choose between friends, public, only you, or you can customise it to exclude certain people. I would always recommend that you don't have a public profile, because that means that anybody would be able to see what you're posting up. So at the very least you want to choose friends so that you're only sharing it with people who you have chosen to be friends with. So I'm going to go ahead and click friends there, so that makes sure that all my future posts, anything that I put up, status updates and photos etc, will only be seen by people who I've chosen to be friends with. The next thing says, where do I review who can see or find things I've posted or been tagged in? Facebook has what's called an activity log, and this is a place that shows you everything that you've posted, but also things that other people have tagged you in when people have mentioned you or tagged you in a photo and that kind of thing, and it gives you control over who can see those things. So if you click Use Activity Log, this shows you all the activities relating to you that have happened on Facebook in reverse chronological order. Now this is a dummy account, so there's not an awful lot on here, but you can see when I've become friends with somebody or put photos up and what have you. And with each of these activities you can decide on how public you want it to be. So for instance, if you click this little edit button in the right corner, you'll get various options, so you can actually hide the activity from your timeline. So if you've become friends with somebody but you don't want everyone else to know, you can just hide it from your timeline. Or the converse of that, you can highlight it on your timeline if it's something you particularly want to draw attention to. Same with these photos over here, you can click highlighted or allowed on timeline or hidden on timeline. If you hover over the person symbol, this will show you the audience that you're sharing that post with, so you can see that I'm sharing my pictures with my friends. This is also where posts would appear if somebody's tagged you in a photo or mentioned you in a status update. Those would appear on here, and you will have the option of being able to untag yourself if you wanted to. This is again a dummy account, so I haven't got any of those types of posts, but this is a good sort of control centre to see all your activity and decide who sees it and how much of it shows up on your public profile. So if I go back to this privacy settings menu again, this was in who can see my stuff. Another really good feature is you can actually look at your timeline from the perspective of somebody else. So if you've got a friend and you want to see exactly what they can see on your timeline, if you click View As, you've got the option of seeing it as somebody else. So this is what my timeline looks like to the public. So at the moment only my cover photo and my profile picture are public, everything else is friends only. But you can dig deeper by looking at it from the point of view of a specific friend. So if you click View a Specific Person and type a friend's name in, so I'm going to type, I'll type Anne Witten, there we are. So now you can see what Anne Witten can see on the profile, and you can see there's an album of photos and the cover photo and the profile photo there. So if you ever want to check what your boss or your mum or somebody else can see on your page, that's a really good quick way of doing it. And to come out of that, you just click the exit button there. So back to this privacy settings menu, that's who can see my stuff. If you click the next one down, that says who can contact me. And this is a good way of controlling who can actually send you friend requests in the first place. At the moment I've got it set to everyone. If you click there, you've got the option of choosing friends of friends. In a sense, there's no harm in having it set to everyone, because if somebody sends you a friend request and you don't want to be their friend, you can always ignore them. And it's quite hard to build up a social network if you restrict who can send you friend requests. So it's okay to leave that set at everyone. The third one down here says, how do I stop someone from bothering me? And if you click again the down arrow, you can actually block somebody, which unfriends them and prevents them from starting conversations with you or seeing things that you post on your timeline. So if you really want to just disappear from somebody, you can put their name or email address in there and block them. So those are the very quick privacy shortcuts that you definitely need to attend to. There are more settings available. If you click see more settings, that'll take you to the setting menu, or alternatively, if you want to just be able to get directly to it from your home page, click this down arrow here, go to settings, and this is your full settings menu. There are a couple of areas in here where it's probably worth casting your eye over. Privacy contains the things that we've just looked at. Those were just shortcuts to get to them. So you can see again who can see my stuff, who can contact me, and who can look me up. Timeline and tagging is the next area that I wanted to look at. This controls who can add things to your timeline and who can see things on your timeline, and also how tags work. So first of all, who can post on your timeline? At the moment it's set to friends. If I click edit, I've got the option of putting friends or only me. So if you don't want anybody else to write on your timeline, then set that to only me. But if you're quite happy for somebody else to post a link or a photo onto your timeline, then you can click friends. You've got the option to review posts that friends tag you in before they appear on your timeline. So if one of my friends said, oh, I've just had a really nice lunch with Anne, and they tagged me, that would appear on my timeline unless I reviewed it first of all. I've got it set to off at the moment, but I can click edit and I could enable it so that I could review it before it appeared on my timeline for other people to see. Who can see things on my timeline? So this is, again, you can review exactly how other people can see your timeline. This is another way to get to that view as thing that I just showed you a moment ago. Who can see posts that you've been tagged in on your timeline? At the moment it's set to friends, which I think is the default. You can change that to make it public, everyone, friends of friends, friends only me, or custom. Again, I would, out of preference, keep that as friends only. Who can see what others post on your timeline? Again, friends is the default, and if I edited that, I'd have the full range of settings. But again, it's probably best to confine it to your friends. I would strongly advise against making anything on Facebook public. I think the absolute minimum level of privacy should be friends, because then at least you've controlled the group of people that you're sharing stuff with. And finally on this page we've got how can I manage tags people add and tagging suggestions. So you've got the option of being able to review tags before they appear on Facebook. This is when people tag your own posts before the tags appear. So say I put up a picture of my sister, but I didn't tag her name. She might want to go on there and tag herself in the photo. And I can decide with this setting whether I want to be able to review that before it goes live, or if I'm just happy to let her tag herself and it'll appear straight away. The next one says, when you're tagged in a post, who do you want to add to the audience if they aren't already in it? So this is if somebody else tags you in a picture or a status update, who do you want to be able to see that that status update or photo? And again, I would suggest restricting that to friends. You don't want it to go out to the wider public or anything like that. So keep it fairly tight. Just be aware as well that whenever you post something on Facebook, even if you have narrowed down your privacy settings, you're still effectively sharing something with somebody else. So once the information has left you, there is a chance that people might pass it on. People talk to each other. It would be like telling somebody something in the pub. People talk. So if there's anything that you want to keep really private, the golden rule is don't put it on Facebook. One final thing before I go, you can customise for each thing that you post who you want to see it. So if I go over to Ada's timeline, this is the dummy timeline that I've set up. So I could share something on the timeline. Let's put making a Facebook tutorial. Now, say that I wanted everybody apart from Anne Witten to be able to see this. You can choose the audience of a specific post by clicking down here where it says friends. And if you click on custom, you can exclude certain people from seeing certain things. So where it says don't share this with, just start typing the name of a person. So I'm going to start typing Anne Witten. There she is. So I don't want to share this post with her, but all my other friends can see it. Save changes, and then I'm going to post it. So now what I can do is check that I've limited the audience by using that view as tool again. So if I go up to the privacy shortcuts, who can see my stuff, and view as. Now first of all, I'm going to view it as one of my ordinary friends. So view a specific person. We've got an ordinary friend here, and you can see that she can see on my timeline that I've put making a Facebook tutorial because I didn't restrict her from seeing it. However, if I view it, I shouldn't have come out of that. Let's just pop back in there again. View as. If I decide to view as Anne Witten, who I did restrict that post from, you'll see she can't see it. She can only see those photos that were on there before. So that's really handy if you've got somebody that you're happy to be friends with, but you don't want to share everything with. So I hope that's been helpful. There are plenty more tutorials on a whole range of different topics at www.teachmetech.co.uk. Thanks for listening.